Time go around, first time we played them, I thought that they dominated us in the special teams area. Obviously, Pac-Man had a big return. Erickson had a big return that was called back. And as you keep watching them throughout the whole year, their return game has been outstanding. And so we're going to have our hands full there. We just got to. We're trying to get better in our areas, and we're going to continue to concentrate on that. We got some new guys playing here and there, but they've stepped up to the challenge, and we're trying to emphasize to them, this unit that we're playing is a well-coached unit, and we just got to go down there and play our best football and give ourselves a chance. With that, I'll answer any questions.
Chris, on that play last week where Ricardo gets hit on that punt, Kirksey said he knows it's legal, but
it's a legal play. Yeah, it's a legal play. That if you don't weigh fair catch, you have the right to block and make sure that the gunner doesn't down it there. And the kid did make a nice play. That's it has to be below the head and neck area, and it was. Those are tough plays on the gunners. He was looking up to find the ball, and that's when obviously when guys get it. Because like Colquitt, I think, was one of three punters in the league that had not had a touchback, and obviously if he doesn't block him there, Ricardo's gonna down that ball easily on the 2-yard line.
Speaking of Britton Colquitt, just how well was he striking the ball in that game, and how much did that help you guys stay in it?
I think he did a great job. It was tough sledding down there with regards to the wind, and I think he ended up at like 39.8 was the net. And when I walked onto the field, I kind of thought 40 was kind of the score of the day. If you were golf term there, I thought that was going to be a good number, and he hit that. But I'll be honest with you, I think quietly he's had a great year. Pro Bowl. He's been up there most of the year in gross, and has helped us with the net and his punt location and just the way that he can move the ball around. We got to have him continue to play at a high level. And I say it, he's our best player on our punt team, and we need to take advantage of that.
Pepper's 2 fumbles. Were the conditions part of the reason, or what's up with him?
On the muffs there. Yeah, he's got to catch the football, do a better job of doing that. We got to do a better job of keeping him clean. He was taking a chance, trying to make somebody miss right there. But I still think he's really good, and he hasn't hit it yet. But I think it's just kind of one of those things where you can't press. You just got to kind of let it come to you, and there's going to be times where he maybe should take a fair catch, but wants to be aggressive. I'd much rather coach that type of player than the one that just fair catches it all the time and never takes a chance. So I'm willing to live with it. I kind of look at it like this too, Tony, to be honest with you. If the muff, and unfortunately they got the ball back and we can't turn it over there, but our defense did a great job of getting the ball right back to us. And so in my world, it went in and it left. It didn't even happen, and that's how I process the information there.
Weren't there 2 muffs on the day?
The other one kind of went out of bounds. Yeah, right there on the side. He was chasing it. We got to do a better job of getting to the ball, and what I say, beat the ball to the spot. The ball's chasing you. You are not chasing the ball. Is the coaching point.
I feel like you found something in Matthew Day's returning kick.
I think all those kids are doing a good job. And we kind of talked about that, I think, early in the year, that we kind of saw some things on tape that we were getting closer and closer. He made another big return for us, and that was good. And that's been a nice, pleasant surprise. You can sit in your room now and go, well, should we put Days back there? Should we put Peppers back there? You're getting options, and like we've always said, you want more ponies in that stable, and which one you want to trot out there. We're getting to that point, and that's encouraging.
What's the coaching point on that onside kick that they recovered?
They executed it well. They got us. Obviously you can't leave early, and I told them, I said, you've hit some big returns, so now you've just entered something that you haven't experienced yet, of a team surprise onside, teams now squibbing you, teams now blooping you. I said, take that as a compliment, but we got to establish the field position, but we got to make sure we have the ball back at the end of the play. And, you know, like I said, that was a nice kick by Lambeau. And unfortunately, they were offsides. It kind of goes back to that muff. When I saw the flag, that play immediately left my head and was like, man, that was it.
So what are you telling your guys about
You got to see the ball kicked. Don't leave early. You know, I can't get caught leaning and anticipate those things. And that's all you can do. You know what I mean? And those are, for the two guys that are up front right there, that can always be somewhat of a tough play because they're in charge. They're in charge of that. And usually when teams do that, there's more people than just two guys coming after them. You know, you can't commit everyone up to the ball, and then you'll have zero returns. So we just got to be on our toes better.
You mentioned the word Pro Bowl came out of your mouth when you're talking about Colquitt.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? I mean, you think he's having that caliber of season?
Well, I think, I mean, he's been, for most of the year, I think he's been top 5, top 6 in gross punt, and you're punting in Cleveland. You know, I think we're 13th in net punt. We've dropped a little bit there, but for a lot of it, we're 10th and higher, and I think that's a credit to him with a lot of moving parts on our punt team. I will say this: our starting punt team, it's no secret, our starting punt team is not the same as what it was in week 1 or actually in week 5. It's totally different, you know. And I think the one consistency has obviously been him. This is not a tough place to. This is a tough place to punt, and it's gonna get tougher. I think he's been a bright spot for us. I know that's a big term. I use the word Pro Bowl, but at the same time, I do think he's that caliber of player. I think he's a special player.
The hit on Ricardo that we talked about earlier, that was his first touchback, right?
First touchback of the year. Yeah, I mean, that's to do that, and we're going into, you know, game 11. That's pretty impressive, in my opinion. You know, so that's why I guess I say those things about him.
Chris, in a season like this, 0-10, is it tough to sell the coach on something tricky?
I know you always ask me about the tricks and those things. Yes, I'll be honest with you. We've actually, shockingly, we've called some fakes this year, Tony. We haven't had a chance to execute them yet. And I think, and I stated that last week, a lot of teams and special teams, there's a lot of fakes called that don't happen because of maybe a team is looking for a certain look. And I think every team, probably the National Football League, always carries something into it. But sure, I mean, if the opportunity, I'd say this: Coach Jackson, he'll be aggressive, you know, and
What I wanted to ask you a follow-up before you finish that. Very early last year, the fake punt in
a Philadelphia game.
yeah, first game of the year,
Yeah.
which backfired.
Sure.
Did that make them gun shy?
No, not at all. In fact, we've had the green light a few times.
What's happened?
What was? Well, Tony, I can't tell you everything about that. Yeah, so really what happens, to be quite honest with you, that you're maybe looking for something, you call it, and you don't get that, so you have to execute what the other aspect of it, obviously, which would be punting the ball or those type of things. That happens. For example, if you go back studying Jacksonville, they were up 35-0 against Baltimore. A look presented itself that obviously they had practiced all week, and they ran the fake, and the guy ran right around the sideline, right down there, because there it was, and the kids are programmed. Boom, there we go, and they took it, you know.
Is it fair to say you practice these things every week?
Oh yeah, yes. Yeah.
Friday?
I can't say that either, Tony. Huh? Tony, I have a feeling. Do you want to be out there at practice during the fake part?
If there's a special time during the week, or all right, it's time for our.
No,
break.
all seriousness. No, we'll practice it during our special teams period or our walkthroughs and those type of things. I mean, we're not any different than anybody there.